Yuku, this 70-year-old yapper who lives in Japan, did you know that? Thinks Wuthering Waves is a problem. Now, I agree that Wuthering Waves has one specific problem where if they were to fix it, the game would be perfect. But I'm wondering if we're talking about the same thing. I think Echo XP and tuners are the only issue that Wuthering Waves has left.
Wuthering Waves.
Oh, sorry. Whimpering Waste comes out. Now they have a new game mode they need to fucking fix it desperately.
Sucks. Let me say that again. It sucks. I enjoy so much about this game. The story, the characters, the exploration, the combat. But when it comes to actually finding and leveling echoes to be used in that combat, it's an absolute nightmare.
It's bad.
In this video, I want to explain how I think Kuro could fix the experience scarcity issue and also the tuner mechanic. Now, before I start, I know I'm going to have people in the comments.
The problem is that a lot of Kuro bots defend this practice by saying, well, if you do it reasonably and smartly, there's actually not that big of an issue. But the thing is that we want this interface and how to play efficiently to be user-friendly and beginner-friendly. Otherwise, we're going to turn off more new players than Act 1 through 3 already did.
Saying things like, there isn't an experience scarcity issue, you just have echo management issues. I've got hundreds of tubes and many characters build up. See, there's no problem with the game. It's you. If you just level them in the steps and tune them once, you can get more than enough to have several defenses with no problem. It's not experience that's the problem, it's the tuners.
Yeah, what he said. Now, that being said, tuners need to be removed. They do. The tuners need to be removed, replaced with Echo XP, and substat should happen every 5 levels. That happens, everything's fixed, and we all know it.
Yeah, whatever. Shut the fuck up. Just because you personally haven't run into the issue doesn't mean it's not an issue. Especially when what determines whether you have enough experience or not is dependent solely on RNG. Case in point, I have 2 accounts, both at Union level 80. How is it that on one account I have 800 tubes ready to go, but on the other account I have literally 0 and struggling? I'm doing everything exactly the same. Could it be that it's not the player that's the issue, maybe it's the game? So anyone that wants to come at me with that can just fuck right off. Now with that out of the way, how to fix echoes and tuners in Wuthering Waves. First up, echoes.
Yeah, so you just remove tuners, replace the tuners with echo experience, and then they auto level at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I don't know if there's anything more that's going to be said here, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Specifically, the echo experience scarcity issue. There's no way to say I think that echo experience should be infinitely farmable. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And how I think they should...
Nah, it's bad. It has to be a gotcha at the end of the day. It does. For player retention, this would cause far too much burnout. You don't want this. Like this is one of those things where you think you want that, but you don't, because that's going to cause severe burnout because players will never be able to stop playing. And these games are meant to be played casually. And when you give players the option to play them hardcore, it's going to burn out really hard. The echoes should be infinitely farmable, and they are. You can at least get the main substat, but yeah, log in every day to get more experience. Disagree. Okay, so I'm gonna say this again. You can disagree, and that's fine. But the reason why you're disagreeing is because you don't understand what Wuthering Waves has to do for the genre of game that it is. If you were to promote infinitely farmable Echo XP and Echoes in mass, you would never be able to stop playing. And that is going to cause player burnout. It's much better for the business model of Wuthering Waves and player retention to have daily check-ins for the success long-term of this game. And also for the mental sanity of yourself. I know it sucks because it would be nice, but that's a system that should belong in an MMO, not in a gacha game.
Go about that is by implementing these 5 changes.
And people will burn out very hard.
We should be able to use useless...
They should also take HP, defense, and flat attack. Get rid of all of them.
Echoes as experience fodder.
Wouldn't removing tuners would promote infinite farming and cause burnout? No, I don't know why you think that would. No, obviously not.
Which will take time, but at least it's free. The second one is the tacit suppression cost should be lowered from 60 to 30. If not, then at the very least, 2 times the drops should be available 3 times every day. These increased rewards also apply to the amount of tuners too. And if you think that's too much, just wait until the next section because it will all make sense. Also, tacit domains should only have 1 type.
I think echo recycling is fine for what it is.
Of echo set, not 2. I think they should also put these tacit fields in lore accurate regions as well, but that's not exactly necessary.
I agree as well.
The next thing we need is an echo experience only section at Yarn. We've got one for character experience and weapon experience. I think we should also have one for echo experience as well. A nice to have thing they could also implement is to...
I thought we already had that. I'm shocked that we don't.
To remove the non-set elemental damage buffs. If not this, then at the very least make it weighted so that you have a higher chance of getting an on-set elemental damage bonus. I'm tired of getting Spectro on the Glacio set and Glacio on the Spectro set. Now these changes would address some of the echo experience issues and also some of the RNG, but let's not forget there's also...
It sucks because I understand why they do that, and the reason why they do that is because there are some niche uses that are very fun to experiment, but having to farm the right main stats on those really fucking suck because 99% of the time you're going to use the ice set with the ice bonus.
So another aspect to Wuthering Waves echoes, tuners. Now, I've heard many people get annoyed and say that they should just remove tuners altogether, and quite frankly, I don't really agree. Look, I get...
Why the fuck do you disagree with that?
I totally get it, but I'm going to argue that Kuro should keep them in the game. However, I think there should also be a massive overhaul about how tuners are used in-game. This is how they fix tuners. Right now, when you upgrade an Echo at levels 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25, new subsets are unlocked after you tune them for 10 each. And if you get bad rolls on subset RNG, you can recycle these Echoes to get a portion of that experience and tuners back to reuse. However, what I think they should do is that at those respective levels, the subset type, but not the amount, should be visible. However, they are locked and do not affect any character that equips them until you tune them. This will help players decide when and where to effectively and efficiently use these tuners. But
it's pointless tedium. It is literally pointless tedium. There's absolutely no reason for that. There's none. It doesn't make anything better. It just makes things useless.
Here are the new mechanics I think
just get rid of them.
You should implement. Right now, the cost to tune an Echo is 10, but for 5 times that amount, 50 tuners, they should allow you to re-roll the subset type before unlocking, which is where you get hit with some more RNG to determine how much attack percent you get, for example. So RNG plays a role in what...
It's at least better? No. Just remove tuners and replace the tuners with Echo experience. It is much easier.
Other subset you get, and also how much of that subset you get as well. But that's not all. For 20 times the amount, 200 tuners, I think they should allow you to specifically choose the substat you want. But just like before with the substat reroll, they should not allow you to choose the amount of that substat that you get. So you could have 12.6% crit damage or 21% crit damage, or anything in between. This allows for potential continuous improvement of echoes, for those sweaty players that really want to min-max. These changes also play into the lore of what a tuner is. A tuner is something that you use to tune an instrument to the correct sound you want, after all. Using tuners in this way allows you to be able to craft echoes to have the exact stats that you want to build your characters and also to be as strong as you want for a price. As I said, 200 tuners for just one stat, it's not an insignificant amount. And if you wanted to craft...
I mean, yeah, that's way easier. And yeah, that would be really good, but I don't think that's good for the long-term business model of Wuthering Waves. It would be cool though, but they're just like, you're fucking high as fuck if you think they're gonna put that in the game. Absolutely not.
One singular perfect echo that could cost up to 1,000 tuners. And also, don't forget, you need 5 of these echoes for just one character. So a possible 5,000 tuners in total.
I really hate, once again, no hate towards Ryuku, but I really think people are so ignorant when they say, oh guys, watch me be the figurehead of gacha games. Watch me be the smart guy. Watch me be the guy who gets it. Hey guys, you want to know how Wuthering Waves improves their game? Every character, you get them in one pull. Yep, that's how they fix their game. Yeah, when you want a perfect artifact, you just press a button and then you just get it. That's right. And then when you get a new character in the game, they have sex with you. And you know what? When you go to buy a pack, you don't give money to Kuro, they give you the money. Uh-huh. Yeah, so that's why I'm a developer, guys. Yeah, that's why I'm the #1 developer, because I just get what these other people don't get. When approaching these critiques of these games, you need to understand what is viable for Kuro Games staying a business, for Kuro Games staying profitable, as well as what benefits the players. Too often, people just think this benefits the players. But you have to understand what are reasonable changes that the developers could make that will still keep them in business while appeasing the players, right? We get too much extremes from the player benefit side. And it's a cold reality. You need to balance business and player happiness, right? That is a huge give the players what they want. It just doesn't work. What would be your solution then, Techie? I'm interested. I have already said it. Literally 100 times. I don't know if you're watching this stream on mute. Just take out tuners. That's it. Replace the tuners that you get with more Echo EXP, right? When you level up an Echo to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, the substats just unlock. That's it. How would that be in benefit for Kuro games? Well, you take out a pointless system, and now instead of two systems, there's one system. It's not really that big of a detriment to ask, because with that new system in mind, players are going to be more incentivized to grind more echoes to roll, because now you only need one resource instead of two. So like Hoyoverse, absolutely. But the big difference between this game and Hoyoverse, as well as every other gacha game that has this fucking system, is that this game has a system where you can infinitely farm echoes with the proper main stat. And that's how it separates itself from the competition. It's just a pointless currency that adds unnecessary tedium. But that would cause infinite farming. No, I am retarded. It would already have the infinite farming system of the main stats that the Echo system has in the game. However, you would not be able to farm Echo EXP infinitely. It would be the same domains, the same tacit fields that give you the Echo EXP and the tuners, but now it just gives you only Echo EXP. So no, it would not be infinite farming. It's a very simple change. We don't need, and once again, love Ryuku. I love that he's trying here, but we want to give Kuro the most concise, agreed upon feedback as we possibly can. I understand what he's going for. It would be freaking epic if everybody got a free Huawei whenever they played Wuthering Waves. But very simple. When you do a survey, just say remove tuners. That's it. That's all you should say. Remove tuners. Take tuners out of the game. We should all be on the same page there. Just get them out, right? So, for example, the two things we should all be writing on our surveys: remove tuners, and Whimpering Waste, make the mobs more aggro. That will fix the game. Oh, and make the on-use items in Whimpering Waste be more unique and give special combat effects. Those should be the three things we're writing right now. Those are the only thing that need to be addressed. And make more fishing? Absolutely.
So, okay, now
Can we all agree with that? We got about 7.5 thousand people here right now. We're kind of all on the same page? Hell yeah. All right, that makes me very happy. Yeah, that should be what's going on surveys 100%. Oh, and wings need to exist in 1.0 regions. Thank you for pointing that out, chatter. Thank you.
Now, some of you may be thinking that with all these echoes, all this experience, all those changes to tuners giving players any degree of control over their echo rolls, that would break the game and remove any of the incentive for players to continue playing. And to those people I say, would it? Really? Would you quit? I don't think so. Having tuners be used this way also incentivizes people to continue playing, to use wave plates on tacit fields.
When a player feels like they've beaten the game, they stop playing. That's why a lot of these games don't have endgame bosses, and why they don't have endgame, because if players were to beat the endgame, they would quit the game. And what you want to do for gacha game players, live service games, is you want to have that carrot on the stick. That thing they can infinitely chase. The problem is if you can chase it and get there, then you'll lose that feeling of being able to acquire something new when you beat the game and you'll drop it. That's why players drop Minecraft after they beat the Ender Dragon.
To earn the echo experience, and also,
or for a lot of people, they stop playing after they get full diamond armor.
To earn these tuners to guarantee these stats. But even then, there are many games out there that rely on players to repeatedly play dungeons and other domains in the
Yeah, nobody wants Wuthering Waves to be an MMO. Gacha MMOs fucking suck balls, right? So saying another game of another genre has this and it works, well, because it works, it's because it's in a different genre.
hopes of getting decent equipment for just one character. There are also games which allow you to max out multiple characters too. I mean, I've personally spent hundreds of hours leveling each character, each of the heroes on Dynasty Warriors, for example. And we already have 29 characters.
Let me ask you, Ryuku, do you still play Dynasty Warriors every day? Or did you stop? And did you stop because you completed them all? I have a feeling that answer might be yes.
In the game right now, with many more to come in the future. With the systems I've laid out, there are still significant but reasonable levels of RNG with understandable mechanisms to give players something to work towards if they continue to play the game. These systems create enough incentive to continue playing without the absolute futility of pure RNG, which I remind you can and does lead to player burnout because it's happened in this game and also many other games that have these systems. I've already seen multiple people say that they're going to drop Wuthering Waves because of the RNG. So like I said, with the tuners, it should be 10 to tune, 50 to reroll the substat, and also 200 to...
If someone is saying that they're going to quit Wuthering Waves because of the RNG, they need to understand that they walked into a casino and said, I'm going to leave because I didn't win the jackpot. These are gambling games that are, at its core, RNG gambling fuckfest. And the genre is not for them. And referencing those people is just idiotic. Okay, like you're getting MTAS as your source of information for gacha games. Yeah.
To choose the substat. But these numbers can be flexible. I don't know where the balance should lie. This is just something I give as an example. So they could be higher, they could be lower, perhaps maybe 300 tuners for the substat selector. But even still, I don't think we should be afraid to implement systems like this just in the off chance that they might be too overpowered. That's the point of patches, to find the perfect balance. But if Kuro implements these changes I've laid out for both the Echoes and also the tuner systems, I think that could revolutionize the Artifact, Relic, Echo, whatever systems that they have in this game. I think people are too afraid of change. Don't fix what isn't broken, as the saying goes. But in my opinion, this system is broken, in the bad sense of the word. So I would really love it if Kuro implements something like this system that I've laid out.
I know I was pretty harsh on Ryuku this video, and I really hate that I was. I caught myself, and I try to pull back a little bit, because I'm trying not to be my old self. And I am really trying to be a lot more friendly and open to other people's ideas. I really am. But there's a certain part of me that cares very deeply for Wuthering Waves. And that part is also, I also very much care about Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero, as well as Limbus Company. But very special part of me for Wuthering Waves. It's my favorite gacha game right now. I think Ryuku came in this video with a really good direction in his heart, a really good place in his mind for what would make the game better. But it's very important to me that the community stays focused, and when we're able to give feedback, we're all on the same page. And this seemed like a video that was deterring from that. So I do want to say, Ryuku, if you took any offense to what I said in this video, I apologize. I was a bit harsh. I was a bit harsh. You know, I've been part of a game development team for now, the better side of 2 years now. So I understand the necessary evils that a lot of these games have and why these businesses do it. But once again, really try to think, what are these changes that the company can do that the players want that aren't going to set them back severely financially, right? And if you keep all those things in mind, it's a lot better. Well, he did say that he doesn't know what is a good balance. Great. I didn't hear that. Great video. Love things like this. Keep it up, Ryuku. Had you on the Gacha Guys recently. It was great. And yeah, go like, comment, and subscribe.